Hi crypto queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode, I'll go into depth on how I am trading the market. I am looking at the weekly. I see the market on the weekly is an uptrend. On the daily, we are in a downtrend. On the 4-hour chart, we are in a uptrend, etc, etc. So I'm just trying to show you guys exactly how I see the market and why I do believe the market will come up to 49,200 or 300 right now for creating a lower high and then continuation to the downside. You have to combine all of these different time frames to actually know where you're heading, and that will also give you a little bit of peace because you understand what the market, how the market is moving and why it's doing that. Remember, I am no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please guys, continue watching this video and I'll try to explain as easy as possible how I see the market. If you guys going into the first page on my YouTube, and if you're scrolling down, you can see that I'm having crypto trading for beginners, and I'm having 3 different videos right here, and I'm having such positive feedback from it. In this part, I'm talking about market structure part 1, and if you're just scrolling down, guys, you can see having such a good feedback. Thank you for your super simple explanation. Impressive, never seen anyone explain market structure so well and been around for 4 years already. This video is brilliant. Thank you so much. This is the only thing that I'm having, guys. I'm having so many good feedbacks. You're a great teacher, a TA teacher. Thanks for breaking it down. Guys, TA, technical analysis, is what you have to understand when you're trading the market. And after that, obviously risk management, etc, etc. But you cannot have risk management if you don't understand what you're looking at the charts. Go inside and look at this. Everything is for free. This was actually one of the things that no one did explain to me when I started trading. Everyone was talking about high highs and high lows, but they did not show me exactly how deep you have to go to understand high highs and high lows and what's happening in between. Use these videos. We're looking at Bitcoin, and I just want to show you exactly how I see it. And we're still in a downtrend, as we can see, because we're still below this trend line. What I did was that I took a counter trend line, and counter trend line is where the pullback is, so it's not included in the trend, it's against the trend. But that's when we need the pullback. You see the market go down, go up, go down, go up. The market just did a pullback, and this is what I also did expect. So I've had my Fibonacci right here for a while from the daily, and we can see the market coming up and retested the 50% around 51,970. I did expect the market to come up a little bit more, but usually the market is coming to the 50% and then it reversed, and it actually did happen. And if you don't know this, but I've been talking about these levels for so many times that the market will continue back down. And the overall picture, we are obviously still in a uptrend because we need to break this low right here, because this is the higher low on the weekly chart. The market is still in the uptrend, but right now the market is in a downtrend, and that is what we have to follow. But I did take the counter trend line like this to see when if the market is going to break it, because when the market is breaking the counter trend line, that's against the trend. When we're breaking the counter trend line, we're continuing with the trend, and trend is your friend, right? So you're trying to find sell opportunities, because we are in a downtrend right now until we're coming to certain levels to see the market actually breaking to the upside. And that is why you always have to be a step ahead, because I know that the market can come back down to 40,200, 300, because that is the previous higher low that we're having on the weekly. So that will be my target for me to see that we could potentially come back down to that level until we're breaking to the upside. And the market is always giving us low lows and lower highs. And that is why I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now, because that's what the market is giving me. But I'm having in mind that this previous higher low is a target that I'm having for then starts to talk about bullish scenarios. But until then, the market is still in a downtrend, and that is why we're looking at sell opportunities. So if we're going to the 4-hour chart, what we can see was, obviously you saw the market going down here, you had the downtrend, market broke that. You also had a double bottom right here. You had the neckline where you saw the market break it, retested, continuation to the upside. What it's also is that it is a previous lower high that got broken, you got retested, continuation. So it's not just a double bottom, you broke the neckline, market came back down. You have to understand and see it as lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high. Last lower high came back down, created a low, because we kind of did break the previous lower low, but then you saw the market breaking it and came up and broke the downtrend by creating a higher high. Market comes back down, create a higher low, And then the target that I'm having, and I was talking about this, the targets that I'm having is around 51,200 and 53,300, but we never came up to the 53,000. As you can see, you had almost one touch. You came up again. We tried to break the trend line, but we never had the power to do it. We came inside again. Okay, so we first of all did retest the daily Fibonacci, which is very important. It's a strong level for the market to retrace or reverse from. Market comes inside the trend line again. You see the drop. We see the market breaking the previous high low that we're having, because what was happening? We had the uptrend. And what's happening when we're changing the trend? The market breaks the previous high low, creates a lower low. And that was exactly what we did do right here. We also broke the counter trend line. We almost saw a retest. Now market continues back down. So what we're doing now is that we're using the counter trend line, and we're taking another Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point. And as you can see, is that if we're just adjusting this one, the trend, the counter trend line on the daily, and going back down to the lower time frames, you can see that the Fibonacci that I'm having is also combined with that. If we see the pullback right now to the upside, because we are now in a downtrend on the 4 hour, as long as we're not breaking 51,547, because that was the previous high that we did have. We did break the higher low. We came back down, created a lower low. What the market needs to do now usually is the market comes up and create a lower high for them push further back down. And we're combining the Fibonacci. We're just going to take this one away so we're clean on the charts. We're combining the daily counter trend line. You saw the huge break. You haven't had a specific retest, but just following market structure, the market needs to come up, create a lower high for them breaking to the downside again. And that is what I'm looking at right now. So I'm looking at the market coming up, retesting the trend line, retesting the Fibonacci, and then we see the market potentially slowly go back down again. And you'll see the market creating higher highs and higher lows, maybe until we're getting to 40,370 or 80. And after that, you just might see the market pull backing, trying to break it, comes inside, consolidate, and then you see the market breaking to the upside. And that's when the pullback on the weekly is done, because the weekly chart, we're just having a pullback. The market is just having a pullback, even if it's a big one. But on the higher time frames, you can definitely see everything more clear. On the daily, we're trading the pullback right now from the weekly that we're having. Looking at the daily, we're going down to the 4 hour chart. The daily is in a downtrend. The 4 hour is in a uptrend, because that is the daily's pullback. The weekly, we are in a uptrend. On the daily, we are in a downtrend, because this is the weekly pullback. On the 4 hour, we are in a uptrend, because that is the daily's pullback. So that is how you're combining the higher time frames with the lower time frames. And it's going to be so much simpler for you to trade the market when you understand this. Now that I'm having target on the weekly, I can also do this. I'm using the bodies from the weekly, going down to the daily. This is how it looks. So we can come back down to 43,014, because this is the close. This is the body that we're seeing on the weekly. And this is the wicks that we're having on the weekly. But we can also come back down to this level. And then we just might see market breaking to the upside. So I have my targets on the higher time frames. What I'm trying to do is that I'm looking at the overall picture, then I'm going down to the lower time frames, and either I'm trading the pullback or I'm trading the impulsive move. I'm just trying to figure out what type of trend, when it's the pullback, when it's the impulsive move, when it's the retracement. And that is how I am combining different time frames to calculate where to buy and where to sell. Because you can see on the lower time frames, on the 4 hour chart, we are in a downtrend right now. If we're going to maybe to the 15 minutes, you soon start to see that the market will create high highs and higher lows until we're getting up here. So on the lower time frames, in case now that we see the market going up, this is just a pullback that we're having on the 4 hour chart. But if you're only looking at the 15-minute chart, it's gonna seem like the market is going up forever, right? And I always tell you that when you see the market going up, that is just a pullback on the 4 hour, because the 4 hour chart, we are in a downtrend. But on the lower time frames, we are in a uptrend. But as long as you know your targets and from where you're coming from, it's not gonna be a problem, because you understand the market. You see what the market is doing. You see where the market is heading. And if it's not coming up to this level, maybe it stops somewhere else. I'm going back in time, and I can also see that we're having previous support and resistance zones right here. Or maybe I see the market just coming up to 48,195, and I see the market trying to break it, but then I start to see reversal patterns from this level. At that point, the market have given me new data to use different tools to what's going on right here. At the moment, I'm looking at the market to come up to the Fibonacci, as you can see, that I was talking about, but I'm also looking at other targets to see, okay, if we're not coming to that level, where can it stop? And that's how you're doing it every time by time, because the market is always giving you new things to use, especially on the lower time frames. The higher time frames will be like this until we're coming to that level. And after that, we're just looking at how did the daily candle close, how did the weekly candle close, etc., etc. Let's also make sure that we're having a bonus right now up to 4,100 on BYBIT. If you're using the link that I'm having in the description down below, you will get into the website. It takes less than 1 minute to create this account. You're also supporting Bitcoinsensus by doing that. But the good thing about BYBIT is that when you're having your positions for a longer time, you have very, very low fees. And BYBIT also gives you more bonuses than outside the one we're giving you. So you can have different tasks that you need to do. And with that, they're giving you different bonuses. If you're doing that, they kind of give you the money to do it. But remember, you're trading with leverage, so you can gain a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. So this is for experienced traders, but claim the bonus. You can receive up to $4,100 if you're using the link that I'm having in the description of this video. Thank you so much for looking at this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you learned something new. Subscribe to the channel because I go through cryptocurrencies every single day. I'm having multiple live streams during the weeks also, and I'm really trying hard to make you understand the market in a very easy way. Have a good day. See each other in tomorrow's live stream or video. Mwah, from Sweden.